All right, guys, welcome to Sochi. And, well, yesterday's Grand Prix there saw Nico Rosberg taking his fourth win of the season, his fourth win in a row. And he's really been untouchable so far this season. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton having mechanical issues yet again for the second race in a row, but none as unfortunate as the gentleman we're going to be writing with here today, Sebastian Vettel, getting torpedoed not once but twice by Daniil Kvyat there. And I got a feeling that our old buddy Kvyat there is probably not going to be on Sebastian Vettel's Christmas card list anytime soon. And we're going to be jumping straight ahead to Q3 here, coming through the final couple of turns. As you can see, the conditions not optimal to say the least here. We got Perez on provisional pole there, but he's being bested by Raikkonen immediately after. And we are going to be way down the order here, about a second and a half down on Kimi. And I don't think we're going to be able to do any better here, so just let's just see where this takes us. All right, starting fifth on the grid, Kimi Raikkonen starting on pole, Lewis Hamilton in second, Nico Hülkenberg right behind him, and Sergio Perez in fourth there, just between us and Hülkenberg. And where is Rosberg? All right, he's down in P6 there, right ahead of Kevin Magnussen, who's up to P7. So that spell of rain there in Q3 definitely shook up the field a little bit. Surprising to see a Renault up into P7. And as such, just going to have a look at the pit stop strategy here. We're going to be on a two-stop race, and apparently the pit crew would like us to go on a two prime stints there near the end, obviously starting on the option tire because we qualified on those, but I'm not all that crazy about two prime stints there. I'm looking at the laps here, and I'm thinking it should be possible to stretch that middle stint for a couple of extra laps and just finish on an option set of tires there. So that's what we're going to be trying anyway. And looking at the weather, it doesn't appear as though we're going to be having any rain here, so we really need to set a strategy. Otherwise, we could just throw it out the window. But, all right, here we go. Getting ready for the start. Need to have a look at that mod again. I probably need to reinstall the whole batch there because that wheel bug, maybe look for a different mod altogether. All right, here we go, boys. Beautiful sunny conditions all of a sudden, even though it was gray like 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure how that works out. Starting fifth on the grid, and we should be in a position to challenge for the win here today. We haven't done this so far this series, so it's going to be fun to see how we're going to be faring in today's race. Right behind Perez and Hülkenberg. The 2-Force India's right ahead of us here, getting a nice start, pulling away from Perez. Hulkenberg's getting a pretty good start as well. Raikkonen seems to be standing, I wouldn't say still, but Hamilton is rapidly catching up to him. We got Hulkenberg, Hamilton, and Raikkonen sort of going defensive here into turn 2. Trying to see if we can have a look down the inside here. Oh, way down into first gear, but making that move stick as we are going to be going through this sweeping left-hander of a turn 3. This is a massive left turn here if you haven't raced this track before, which I'm sure most of you guys have here, but we are way up into P1 here, opening up quite a gap down to Kimi Raikkonen there, who is holding his own in P2, and Lewis Hamilton in P3 at the moment, but we have a gap of almost a second and a half already here. I did not see this coming, even though we got the engine running in rich mode here for the first couple of laps. See if we can open up a gap, just break the DRS. Oh, just running wide here in the left-hander. Off on the curb here. We could have easily lost a car with some nasty oversteer there. And coming back out on the back straight here, this is going to be the second DRS straight once we have the DRS activated here. And as you can see, we didn't take that corner very well. That sector 2 is definitely going to be an Achilles heel for us. I always seem to struggle there, and today seems to be no exception here as we come back into this twisty, turny part of the track here, running way wide into the left-hander here. Kimi Raikkonen right on our exhaust here. That entire gap that we built down to him of a second and a half seems to have evaporated completely here. But these past couple of turns, again, on Sochi, I'm not really sure what this is, but I'm also very fast in these couple of turns always. And as you can see, Kimi Raikkonen, after having caught up to us completely there a couple of turns ago, appears to be about a second down again. Skipping right ahead to lap 3 here, DRS is now enabled. Kimi Raikkonen putting in a fast lap here, coming into turn 2, running way wide. Probably should have gotten a penalty for that, but thankfully we didn't. But as you can see there, we're having trouble right now keeping Kimi at bay, and Lewis Hamilton not far behind either. Usually on this game, and I'm not really sure how that worked out, but usually on this game, the AI seems to be taking it easy for the first couple of laps, 1 or 2 laps maybe, running in lean mode or whatever, just taking it kind of cautiously, and then they just seem to kick it into rich mode. That's what we're seeing right now, and really work to either close a gap or build a gap. Skipping right ahead to lap 5 here, still maintaining P1, but we are having all sorts of trouble with Kimi pressuring us from behind right now. This is going to take just about everything we have left in the tires here. We're scheduled to come in on lap 8, and as you can see there, we are definitely starting to see some tire wear coming through the corners, coming out of the turns. We got a lot of oversteer and quite a lot of understeer too, as a matter of fact. But again, this section of turns, the AI seemingly very slow through these. And as we go purple here, fastest lap of the race so far, we managed to open up a slight gap on Raikkonen, just getting him outside DRS range and maybe live to fight another day here. But right now, this guy's really going for it. Jumping right ahead to lap 9, coming in for our first pit stop of the race here. We were actually scheduled to come in on lap 8, but we were really doing quite fine there, even though our tires seem to be suffering just a little bit here. But this is going to be a bit of an undercut because Raikkonen has not been into pit yet, and it's going to be interesting to see on the very next lap just how this is going to be turning out for us here. As you can see, we are going for the middle stint on the prime tires, stretching that stint for an extra couple of laps, and hopefully finishing on the option tires, all depending on how the tires hold up, obviously. But coming back on track here, we are in P2, which would indicate that Hamilton has gone into pit on this very lap as well, and Rosberg most likely has already been into pit. And coming through the final turn here, as you can see, Kimi Raikkonen in the pits. He's actually coming out of the pits as we speak, and it's going to be interesting to see just how we're going to be managing here. It appears that we are going to be passing him easily, as he is... All right, there he is on our right shoulder. It's going to be a race for it. Just going down the outside of Kimi there. He does not have the acceleration to keep up with us, and we remain in P1 on lap 11 of the race here. Jumping right ahead to lap 13 here, going purple, the fastest lap of the race here, completely missing the apex here in turn 2, getting a warning to boot for it. We don't want to do that too many times here, but as you can see, we're opening up quite a gap down to Kimi Raikkonen all of a sudden, and my guess is at this point, he needs to start saving fuel, and that is exactly what we're seeing right now. We're in standard mode. We're not doing anything crazy with our fuel situation. Basically just taking it easy here on the primes, running a little wide here and losing some time coming through the right-hander, but still maintaining quite a gap down to Kimi, about 2.5 seconds right now. Lap 15, as you can see, still opening up the gap on Kimi Raikkonen. He's about 3.5 seconds down on us right now. And additionally, we have Lewis Hamilton about 5.5 seconds behind Raikkonen. And I'm not sure what's up with the AI of Lewis Hamilton and Rosberg in this mod, because I drove the Mercedes in China, and it is an absolute beast of a car. So it's not like the performance of the car has been adjusted to less than it actually should be. It's still a beast of a car. It just seems as though these guys just can't get it going here. I'm not sure where Rosberg is in this race here. Hamilton is currently in P3, and he should be able to catch Raikkonen. Lap 18, second stop off the race here, still in the lead. And as you can see there, Raikkonen obviously not coming in on this lap. He's going to be taking provisional first here. Hopefully, we're going to be able to jump him coming back around, as he is most likely going to be making a stop on the next lap. And as you can see, we're making a switch for the option tire here. We need to do 8 laps on this set of tires here. That should easily be doable. And Hamilton already haven't been into pit. He's not going to be jumping us here while we're in the pits here, coming out back on track. Hamilton nowhere to be seen, seemingly about 27 seconds down on us. So it's all going to be a question about catching Kimi here as he comes in to make his final stop, hopefully. Coming right back around here, out on the main straight, as you can see, just as we expected, Kimi Raikkonen in to make his second stop, and there is no way he's going to be jumping us here. Fuel is optimal. We can switch from lean to standard. Everything is okay. All we need to do right now is just keep the car on the track and don't do anything stupid, and we got this one in the back with just 7 laps to go here. Jumping right ahead to lap 24 here, catching up to the first back marker of the race. That appears to be the Renault of Kevin Magnussen here. As you can see, Raikkonen, while he's catching up to us ever so slightly here, so apparently he's still got some fuel to burn, but it's one heck of a gap that he needs to close, and we really need to mess things up here for the remaining 3 laps here. Passing Magnussen, he gives us the room, no problem whatsoever. Jumping to lap 27 here, coming through the last couple of turns. The fuel light is blinking. Nothing is left in the tank. The tires are all dead as we are going to be crossing the line as winners of the Russian Grand Prix. And that is actually my first win in F1 2014 in over a year. And yeah, there's that wheel bug again. Need to fix that. Well, there you have it, guys. Sebastian Vettel, that's us, taking the win here today ahead of our teammate Kimi Raikkonen, finishing in second. Lewis Hamilton holding the torch high for the Mercedes team there, finishing in third, rounding off the podium. And I'm not sure what happened to Rosberg, but he is nowhere to be found in the points, so I'm suspecting he might be out of the race here. Let's go have a look. Okay, we had a couple of DNFs here. Okay, so yeah, Rosberg is out, Fernando Alonso is out, Jenson Button, Felipe Nasr, Marcus Ericsson, Jolyon Palmer, and Carlos Sainz, all unable to finish this Grand Prix here. But it matters not. We take the win here today, and in some style. Might not have been the most interesting video to watch, you know, when somebody is leading a race pretty much from start to finish, which is essentially what happened here today. And there is Vettel climbing out of his Ferrari in his Red Bull getup here. Sort of an identity crisis right there. This mod could really use some help in certain areas. Anyway, guys, had a lot of fun here today. Hope you did too. If you did enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, and I'll be back soon enough. Bye-bye.